Alright, what's up, guys? It's been a very okay day of lots of coffee drinking, uh, a short shift of my wonderfully crummy retail job, and that's about it. I am so ready to continue, my, uh, reading of the episode 7 Tea Party, which is proving to be, like, fucking crazy, because last time, for those who are not watching, blah blah blah. Uh, Kyrie just fucking absolutely Kyrie and Rudolph. Sorry, because I'm not gonna count Rudolph out of this, but I think Kyrie was the instigator. Um, she just like murdered people. I mean, to be fair, like Ava and Hideyoshi kind of started the whole thing, but wow, it really, really, really seems like Kyrie and Rudolph took it to like a whole new level. Hi, son, baby. We're coping with the level of like Ushiramiya kinslaying, which is like taken over. Oh, there's my fidget toy. Holy shit. I need this shit bad. Okay. Bing bong. Bing bong. Alright. Let's go! Also, oh, okay, we were getting the story retold about the trials, and we're seeing Rudolph and Kyrie lure Jessica and very likely Maria and George to their deaths. And we're gonna see how Rudolph handles Battler, and I think it actually we might finally get more news about Battler's parentage. That's what I predict. That's what might actually happen here. 'Cause it's to me, it's like a big fucking mystery. Yeah, it's gonna be so crazy because I don't know what world, how he either lies to Battler, kills Battler, because I just don't see a world where Battler is okay with this, son baby. That would be fucking crazy. Like, he tears off his map. Holy fuck, it's Kakach! I haven't seen you in fucking forever. What's up? He's not the real Battler. Without love, it cannot be seen. Okay, exactly. We might as well accept it. It's grandfather's order, after all. Let's obey it. To start, Jessica-chan and I are being called out. I'm going to the chapel. Jessica-chan is supposed to go to the parlor in the mansion. What about Maria and me? I think they'll contact you later. Wait here. Ugh. A midnight test. Oh, what could it be? Oh, what kind of test is it? A quiz? A puzzle? Oh, I'm really good at wolves and sheep puzzles. Ugh. Maria, who is now fully awake, seemed to be very excited about this unexpected midnight test. Then we'll just hang out here. Yes. Okay, I'm going. It sounds like they're already waiting for us. So he's making one of his grandkids the successor. Sounds great to me. Now I can let one of you guys deal with it. Fuck yeah, Jessica. I love her. I'm so sorry I ever suspected you. I'm gonna become the successor. I want to do it. Having Maria as the successor wouldn't be so bad. It wouldn't. Wholesome ending. Bye. See you later. Rest in peace, gang. Rudolph put down the receiver and stood up.
Okay. Guess I'm going to the spot in front of the chapel. It's damn cold out there. Go to San. Have some coffee waiting for me when I get back, will you?
What the fuck? He killed my cinnamon roll. I'm so fucking done with Rudolph and Kyrie. They're so bad in my book. They're the worst. Hell nah. Next to Rudolph, Goda was lying face up. Yeah, I'm not. I've actually wrapped around to liking Goda Kakach because time and time again, we're seeing that Goda just knows nothing. I have no suspicions. I've wrapped around to liking Goda. I'm now a Goda appreciator. It turns out Goda was like a fine wine. He just needed to be savored, to be cherished. I needed a little more info. And once I've seen that he basically has no fucking clue about any of this shit. Yeah. He's totally cool in my books. I had to kind of get used to him. Oh god. His face was covered by a crossword puzzle book. However, its pages were stained with blood, and you didn't need to move the book to imagine how he had met his pitiful end. Jesus. How was it? A nice script, don't you think?
Yep. We should be thanking Dad. If we just say it was him being fickle, no one's gonna doubt us.
Then let's split up. I'll take care of Jessica-chan, and you take care of George-kun.
You got it. Let's get this over with quickly so we can relax and have some coffee.
There won't be any problems, yes? No sudden pangs of conscience? Kyrie smiled coldly. It probably would have been safer to call them out one by one and finish them off together. However, Kyrie had chosen to have her husband work separately. She wanted to measure Rudolph's resolve. If she was the only one who got her hands dirty, and Rudolph just watched, his heart wouldn't be as dedicated to this venture. By having him dirty his own hands, she could make him truly determined to see this thing through. Jesus Christ. Kyrie understood this sort of mind game better than anyone else. Why is Kyrie becoming the final fucking boss of Umineko? Rudolph reflexively averted his gaze from the cold glint in her eyes, but then he just shrugged and answered her question.
Of course. We have 1 billion yen riding on this. And I'm a man. I'm not gonna miss a chance that'll never come again in my lifetime.
I expected no less of you, Rudolph-san. I love people who seize chances when they come. That's why I fell in love with you.
Thanks. I'm glad.
Rudolph-san.
What?
Stay like that. Always. Okay?
You got it, huh? What did you say?
Always remain the same Rudolph-san I love. Okay?
Of course. When have I ever let you down? You should be worrying more about what kind of champagne we'll use to toast our victory.
Oh my fucking god, shut up. I'll do that. Take care now. If you really treasure Battler-kun, don't kill George in front of the chapel, okay? It'll be a pain if he finds the body.
Yeah, I know. I'll lure him away somehow. We'll be outside and it's raining. Should be some way to do it.
And you aren't a villain in some old western, got it? Don't grant any last requests or take down any final messages, okay? Oh, hi, Eric. Umineko! Kyrie lifted her gun again and ran the lever to eject the casing from the round she had killed Goda with. Oh, she killed Goda? Okay. I'm so fucking triggered. I'm so triggered that Kyrie is killing all of my favorite characters with facts and logic. I went the whole game. She's done all the killing. That's crazy. Wait, what? Is Ava still alive? She isn't dead yet. Dear. Ava was holding Hideyoshi's body and crying. She hadn't been shot at all. The bullet had grazed her head and missed. She hadn't been playing dead. She really thought that she'd been shot. When Kyrie's gun spat fire, Ava felt something fierce skim past her head, before feeling lightheaded and fainting. Then she had awoken in the now silent room of the gold. The remains of her beloved husband lay beside her, as well as Kraus, Natsui, and Rosa's corpses. It was a room of death and piled up bodies. When she had cried all she could over Hideyoshi's body, she realized that she still had something she needed to do. George is in danger. George! They're trying to use the bomb to blow up everything, to bury this whole island with an explosion accident. Of course, as Ava had expected, the switch on the clock was set to the right, which meant that it was active. Ava moved to flip it to the left and stopped. It's right. As long as this switch points to the right, everything that happens will disappear in this night of illusions. Yes, this is an illusion. No matter what happens tonight, everything will become muddled and hidden away. They're probably going to kill everyone else. That has to be it. I'm sure of it. When she looked at the table with the box of bullets, she saw signs that they had roughly grabbed a bunch of bullets before leaving. It clearly showed that they planned to use that many bullets. I have to fight, if only to protect just the life of my precious son. The gun that I dropped when I was shot is stuck with the lever open. No matter how hard I pull, it won't open any further and it won't close again. Apparently, a bullet has gotten jammed, breaking it. It's just as Kyrie said. Loading a bullet is tough if you aren't used to it. Please, dear, lend me your strength. Lend me your strength. So that I can protect George. In Hideyoshi's hand was Kraus's gun, which he had been trying to pick up. Ava took it, prayed to her husband one more time, and tugged on the lever handle. With a light metallic sound, the golden casing spun through the air and bounced off the ground. When she timidly tried to push the lever back, this time it returned to its original place without any resistance. There was another metallic clang. It was the sound of a new bullet being loaded. I figured it'd be something like this. Someone's scheming to show me the game that disgusts me the most just to mock me. In the game so far, various people have been suspected of being the culprit or an accomplice. The only difference now was that Rudolph and Kyrie were those suspects. However, to Angie, that was the most infuriating plot twist possible. Ellipses. Even Leon was full of painful thoughts. Solving the epitaph was supposed to be the only miracle that could lead to a game without a single victim. But ironically, the tragedy hadn't been averted even so. Does this mean we aren't allowed to have a future where we all happily return from this island alive, even if the epitaph is miraculously solved before the crime occurs? A miracle certainly will not occur. Those words, which I had heard in one of the fragments Berncastle had shown me, raced through my mind. Berncastle-san, you showed me how wonderful my world was. I don't want to believe that you created this tale just to hurt Angie. By now, even I realize that you're the game master here. Please, tell me. Why are you showing us this game? Of course, no one answered Leon's muttered question. The game created to mock Angie continued emotionlessly, with more terrible twists that didn't betray anyone's expectations anymore. Ha! Show whatever terrible game you like. You're trying to say that this is one of the endless possibilities inside the cat box, right? Just do whatever you want. I won't let something like this get to me. Someday, I'll find out the truth of what happened on October 5th, 1986. After meeting Kyrie in the parlor, Jessica was told that the test would be held in the dining hall, and she followed Kyrie there. Aunt Kyrie, there's no one here. Oh no. He'll be here soon. Sit over there. Okay. Jessica sat in the chair she had been offered, looking nervous and agitated. Yeah, I need Jessica to bring out her brass knuckles and beat Kyrie into, like, a pulp. Kyrie was by far the calmer of the two. Yeah. Kyrie closed the door behind her, revealing the gun that rested behind it. Jessica was facing the other way, so she saw nothing. Oh, God. Did you hear anything about this, Aunt Kyrie? Like, what kind of test this is? Yes. It'll be over soon. Go, go, gadget force field! There's a 1 in quadrillion chance, son baby. We need a miracle. We need the magic. I sure hope so. As she complained, Jessica turned her head around, and the tip of her nose bumped into the cold metal. No. No! I'm so fucking mad. Remember when Battler thought everybody was innocent? Yeah. Uncle Rudolph? What are you doing?
I guess shooting people in the back just isn't for me after all.
Hey, that was dangerous. What on earth are you doing?
Come on, why else would someone point the gun and pull the trigger?
Rudolph reloaded rapidly and pulled the trigger again without any sign of hesitation. Rare Rudolph W? I'm just letting Eric look at this for a little bit. This is for you, Eric. More George Payne. He's looking like the man in the yellow hat. Actually, but the goofiest thing for me was admitting that I have the same glasses as George does. Okay, glad you got it out of your system. George grabbed at his side and fell to his knees.
That's weird. I guess it really does shoot low. This gun's really got it bad.
Somebody! Help me! Uncle Rudolph is... George started stumbling away, still clutching at his side. His voice as he called for help was weak and thin. In comparison, Rudolph, who stood behind him, looked perfectly calm as he fiddled with his gun and checked his sights. It hurts. It hurts. It felt to George as though something had been gouged into his side. It was so painful that he could barely stand and walk. Oh my fucking God. He leaned against the trunk of a tree. After he crouched down, trying to come... Oh, yeah, I should not have, like, chugged 2 Cokes before I streamed. That was the decision of all time. He was no longer able to stand back up. Oh God, he's so fucking cooked. George didn't have a clue what was going on. It's so good. However, he had felt as though something was wrong this whole time. Of course, it was strange that he'd been called out to a place like this, at a time like this. And yet, How could he have known that something was wrong? After all, his own uncle had told him that his grandfather was asking him to join the family conference. How could he have suspected?
Sorry about this, George Coon. It hurts, doesn't it? If I knew it'd come to this, I would have just been kinder to blow at your brains from behind.
Jesus fucking Christ, Rudolph.
I thought it'd be too cruel to finish you off before you knew what hit you, but it looks like I got it backwards.
I fucking hate him. He's such a bastard. Why? Uncle Rudolph, why would my kind uncle do this?
Forget about this. By tomorrow night, all of it won't have happened.
With a quick use of the lever handle, he loaded another bullet. The casing of the bullet that had pierced George's side fell heartlessly in front of him.
Everyone's gonna die in a sudden, unfortunate accident. Until that moment, we'll all be a big, happy family. That's how it's gonna be. So don't worry about this. Forget it all.
Of course, George didn't have a clue what Rudolph was talking about. And that showed no trace of hesitation. His image of Rudolph as the ideal, cool, joke-loving adult didn't match up with the man standing in front of him, holding a gun. No, maybe this feels wrong because it fits him too well. He has the same smile as though he's about to tell some hilarious joke, but he's pointing a gun at me. Why would that kind, funny Uncle Rudolph do this? It made him feel unimaginably sad, and tears flowed from his eyes. Uncle Rudolph, I admired you so much.
Haven't I always told you, George Coon? Make sure you don't end up as an adult like me. Now you see why. In the next world, make learning how to spot villains your first priority. I know you can do it. After all, it's just another kind of studying.
Yeah. Oh, the George roundhouse kick? Rudolph has perpetual chlamydia. Okay. He bit down the pain in his side. With the last of his strength, George threw his whole body into a roundhouse kick. At the same time, fire spat from Rudolph's gun. The bullet pierced George's chest. George spun around as he fell, amidst an outpouring of blood. He moaned wordlessly, clenching blood-stained teeth. A frigid gun was pressed harshly against his temple.
So long. Go become a great man in the next world. Don't get blinded by money like me.
I can't believe that my uncle killed for money.
You're so innocent. People can kill over money.
The ruthless trigger forestalled any further questions. Jesus fucking Christ. George's hands, which had been covering his wound, dropped lifelessly, like a puppet with its strings cut. When Rudolph saw the last glimmer of life leave him, he sighed deeply and looked tired.
That was easier than I'd thought.
Rudolph looked up into the dark, rainy sky, the raindrops hitting him full in the face, and laughed with an indescribable expression, his tongue hanging out.
I thought my conscience would bug me more. Now that it's over, it was pretty easy. Giggle, giggle. Gah ha ha ha.
Rudolph laughed. This was probably just the thing Kyrie had hoped for. It had taken considerable effort to kill George. He may have been merciless, but the last traces of a conscience in Rudolph's heart had probably slowed him down. However, now that he had killed someone with his own hands, a turning point that few people ever reach, Rudolph had finally awakened. No, he finally understood. Yeah, great 35p. This tea party is just making me really fucking sad.
It's just like squeezing dough out of a bunch of morons. The same old game of musical chairs. If there's a pile of money in front of you, the first one to reach it wins. The slow ones just get kicked down to hell.
Haven't I driven dozens of poor fools into debt with my earlier swindles? Several of those probably ended up bankrupt, and some of those might have hanged themselves. Jesus. And I always laughed like it was none of my business. And that's all there is to it. The only difference now is that for the first time, I've dealt the final blow with my own hands.
Thanks, Kyrie. You're always the best at cutting away my naivete. Ha 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 ha. I'm evil, Rudolph.
Rudolph's evil laugh rang out. The laugh was so purely evil, it was almost soothing. Hypocritical evil that still contains some pangs of conscience is far more repulsive to behold. If a man's committed to doing great evil anyway, how much more pleasant and gallant is it when he's wholly devoted to his goal? In that sense, Rudolph's evil smile and laugh were pleasant and gallant indeed. Which means the brutal, bloody stage of the dining hall must have been soothing as well. What the fuck is happening? A clang. A thud. Is she just like beating Jessica's corpse? A crack, a squish. A strange mixture of these sounds kept repeating over and over at the same tempo. Each time a red splash landed on the tablecloth dangling nearby. Jessica-chan, can you hear me? Kyrie asked this with the sort of smile any aunt might make to her niece. However, Jessica didn't answer. There was nothing particularly surprising about this. After all, by now, her nose had been broken, her eyes had been smashed, her teeth had been knocked out, and not only her nose, but her entire face was now hardly recognizable as a face. Just a lump of bloody flesh. Jesus fucking Christ. Kyrie finally stopped her task of repeatedly smashing Jessica's face with the stock of her gun. Still sitting on top of Jessica, she tossed her gun to the side, pulled a compact out of her pocket, and looked at a compact mirror, and looked at her own face in the mirror. Then, finally, she realized that her face was covered by speckles of fresh blood. How terrible. These clothes will have to go too. With a muffled laugh, Kyrie shakily rose to her feet. Jessica wasn't moving anymore. She had been convulsing a bit until a second ago, but now she was as still as stone. Smashing a woman's face is nothing new to your aunt, okay? Sorry about that. If you hadn't resisted, I could have given you a much cleaner death. Kyrie pulled the tablecloth off and used it like a towel to wipe the blood from all over her body. However, instead of taking the blood off, it just smeared it around. Ugh. It's so fucking crazy, and did nothing to remove the stench of blood and death that covered her. When she got tired of rubbing the tablecloth against the blood, Kyrie walked over to the extension line and telephone in the corner of the room. Then she dialed the number for the cousin room in the guest house. Hello, it's me. It's your turn now, Battler-kun. Go to the spot in front of the chapel, please. Yes, that's right. I haven't been given any instructions from Maria-chan. Have her wait there. Yes, keep your wits about you. I'm rooting for you to be chosen as the successor, Battler-kun. With the same smile as the usual and partly white as usual, and the partly wiped splashes of blood still covering her face, Kyrie finished her call to Battler. When she set down the receiver, there was a small knock and Rudolph came back into the room.
Hey, you look like shit.
And Jessica-chan has better reflexes than I gave her credit for. I didn't think she'd be able to fight back from a situation like that.
It's a bit of a shame she had to end up looking like this. What a waste of good Natsumi-esque woman.
Oh my fucking god! Rudolph! The Rudolph misogyny is so over. And how about your end? Did he give you much trouble?
No problem there. Plain and simple.
When Kyrie heard Rudolph's instant response, she favored him with an evil smile. Yes, the man she loved was the sort who could do it if he tried, without letting cheap emotions get in the way. I love you, Rudolph-san. I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's hard to imagine an easier job to net you a billion yen. It's like Dad always said. In the life of every man, there comes one day when he has to be willing to kill.
In other words, always be determined to survive, even if you have to kill to do it. That's my favorite line of his.
What's next? My rifle is hungry for blood.
You've got a big job coming up. Convincing Battler-kun.
Ha, that's right. That'll be a pain. Hope I don't have to end it by pulling the trigger.
I've really enjoyed life as a 3-person family with Angie. But if you really want Battler-kun to join in on that, give it your best.
Sure. I'll make sure we don't have any complaints from him. Don't worry, I've worked out a scenario to trick him good.
Good luck. Even I hoped that Angie's beloved big brother doesn't get caught up in the explosion accident.
I know. Then I'll head back to the chapel.
Rudolph-san?
What?
If you can't convince Battler-kun.
I know. If that happens, bang.
I just need, like, a witch to tell me this is all just a funny meme to piss me off before episode 8, Eric. That this is actually not what canonically happens on Rokkenjima. Battler-kun is independent enough that we left the family out of... Battler-kun is independent enough that he left the family out of protest when I married you, remember? If you can only convince him halfway, and if things get nasty later on, he'll prove fatal to us.
I know. Believe in me.
And if I decide that Battler-kun is growing suspicious, I'll kill him myself. Yeah, I am to go crying to the witch. I need Beatrice to save me. I'll kill him. He's not my kid after all.
Yeah, I know. So, promise me one thing, Kyrie.
What's that?
If I can trick Battler and the three of us make it off this island.
If that happens, what?
Never say that Battler isn't your kid again. After all, you're his mother. Please.
Sure, I promise. Kyrie shrugged and answered as she loaded bullets. Is Kyrie his mom? I still don't fucking know. You go to the chapel. I'll wait until Battler-kun is left, and then you clean up everything inside the guest house.
Are you sure you'll be okay doing that alone?
There's still, like, Nanjo. Who's still alive? Nanjo, Kumasawa, Genji. I don't remember. Am I wrong? Are these guys dead? That's my line. Okay, thank you, son baby. Kyrie running around looking for Shannon and Cannon. Okay, that's what I thought. They were all in the guest house. Battler left the guest house under an umbrella. He had been called to the area in front of the chapel, just like George had been. Not even 30 minutes had passed since the time George and Jessica had been called out. Apparently, this test didn't last too long. Damn geezer. First, you never come out, not even for lunch, and then you show up in the middle of the night with a test? I'll bet living as a shut-in's got his sense of day and night all backwards. Complaining all the way, Battler strolled off into the rain. Almost immediately, he was swallowed up by the darkness of the rose garden and passed out of sight. And then, Kyrie could be seen coming out of the darkness of the rose garden. Her right hand held a gun, her left an umbrella. Her inner pocket contained the master key ring she had stolen from Goda. Her right pocket had a handful of bullets. Her left held a knife she had taken from the kitchen. She was a carefully and perfectly outfitted murderer. Another bolt of lightning struck down from the swirling skies. It lit up only half of Kyrie's face. Her cheek was still covered with Jessica's blood. Under the eaves, Kyrie folded up her umbrella, smiled, and spoke to no one. Hey everyone, I'm home. Rudolph could be seen under the eaves of the chapel. He had hidden his gun in the nearby shadow and was now smoking a cigarette.
Should be easy to trick that dimwit. And if it doesn't work, that's just too bad.
He glanced over at the place he had stowed his gun. The cigarette smoke began to pleasantly cloud his mind. Battler isn't a kid anymore. He's an adult who can choose his own path through life as he pleases. When animals grow up, it's normal for them to form a group and go on a journey. Humans are the only ones that keep treating their young like kids, even after they get big. If I'd known it. Oh, yeah. Oh, this indigestion is killing me. Okay. Yum, yum.
If I had known it'd come to this, I never would have begged for you to come back. I regret dragging you back into the family.
He puffed out those words, along with the smoke. When Battler came, he didn't intend to voice those regrets of his. Rudolph was already determined to play the part of the evil murderer who kills for money.
He's still not here. What's taking him so long?
At that moment, he heard the sound of someone stepping on gravel. He looked up, thinking that Battler had finally arrived, but the sound had come from the direction opposite of the mansion. Ava? Yep. Rudolph? How could you do that to my husband?
Aniki, so you're alive.
Sorry that I'm alive. Too bad. But my husband wasn't so lucky. How could you? How could you? With a face obscured by anger and tears, Ava slowly walked closer, her gun raised. Her husband had been killed right in front of her. She probably wouldn't even hesitate. Realizing that a gun, quivering with anger, was pointed right at his chest, Rudolph backed away. As he pretended to retreat, he approached the gun he had hidden in the shadows.
Calm down, Aniki. Put the gun down. I never wanted that to happen. Everything happened so fast, there was nothing I could do.
How can you tell such a half-baked lies? As Ava had said, it really had been a half-baked, pointless thing to say. Rudolph would have said anything if he thought it would calm Ava's emotions before she pulled the trigger, which she looked capable of doing at any moment now. Then, Rudolph's foot came in contact with his gun.
Well, let's just talk this over. George-kun should be here soon. Oh. Hey, George-kun, we're over here.
Rudolph waved, as though George was coming from behind Ava. Let Ava's attention turn in that direction. That idiot. My simple big sister has always been a sucker. Dumb. Oh my fucking god. And then Battler sees it, right? Gunfire. Then, a bit later, the sound of something heavier than rain drip dropping onto the cobblestone. Rudolph, I've always been able to see right through your stupid fucking tricks. The bullet Ava fired went straight into Rudolph's chest. The bullet Rudolph fired at Ava missed, landing near her feet. Guess I was
right. This gun does shoot low.
He dropped the gun into a puddle with a splash, staggered backwards, and leaned against the wall of the chapel.
That's not it. All good westerns end with the bad guy's bullet missing.
Ava dashed up to him, kicked away the gun that had fallen into a puddle, and grabbed Rudolph by the collar. What about George? Where is he? I won't let you kill him.
Sorry, Aniki. Already got him.
Liar.
Did it in the bushes over there. Go take a look. You'll see soon.
Rudolph, you. Ava, who claimed to know all of her little brother's tricks, also knew that Rudolph's final words, as his consciousness began to fade thanks to the bullet wounds, were not a lie. How could you? George! George! An empty shell casing bounced off the cobblestone. The furious gun barrel was pressed against Rudolph's forehead.
Go ahead and shoot. I doubt that'll bring you much peace, though.
This is so fucked up. A bolt of lightning turned everything white. However, the wall of the chapel was stained blood red. A red splash, like a crushed tomato, came out from the back of Rudolph's head and covered the wall. Then, leaving a red trail behind him, Rudolph sagged downwards, sat on the ground, and fell over. Now rest in piss. George! 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 Sean! Ava dashed off towards the bushes. She found George's corpse almost immediately, screamed, and broke down sobbing. Rudolph's bloody corpse was exposed to the rain that ran off the eaves. His eyes were still wide open. A fist-sized, flesh-covered hole was opened in the back of his head, and his insides were exposed to the open air. Inside was a mixed jelly of flesh, brains, and spinal fluid. That goop, which looked like someone had mixed it up with a spoon, dripped from his eyes, nose, ears, mouth, and the hole in his head. Jesus fucking Christ. Umineko no Nakukoro ni Chiru. Oh, it's Angie. Dad. Angie clutched at her head, sobbing and moaning. Her father had dirtied his hands with murder over money, and on top of that, he had faced such a cruel end, and Angie had been forced to see his corpse. It was hard to imagine a more painful experience for a daughter to go through. I'm totally fed up with this. It's completely meaningless. Berncastle-san, I know you're here somewhere. Please make this game stop. There's no point to it. As if in answer to that yell, a black shadow appeared a few seats in front of them. Or perhaps she was sitting there the whole time. Maybe we just couldn't see her until we were aware of her. It was, without a doubt, the back of Berncastle's head. Berncastle-san! Pipe down back there. Can't you watch the show quietly? The witch turned around with bored eyes, as though the two people yelling were the strange ones. Please, stop this. We realize that this is the sealed Catbox world of October 4th and 5th. The games are like messages, or maybe more like a roundabout love letter. A single message can be conveyed over several games, but now we understand. We know that endless tales can seep out of the sealed 2-day Catbox. Beyond that, I even know the culprit and the motive. That has already been revealed, and it doesn't have anything to do with this game. We both know the answer. This is a Catbox tale, so there shouldn't be any need for any further games. If this is supposed to be a game between you and us, we already know the answer. The game should be over. Yay! Oh, it's fucking Lambda! Oh, I haven't done her in forever. Oh my fucking god. Just shut up already. Didn't you hear Byrne tell you to be quiet? Another shadow appeared in the next seat over, turned around and scolded the pair. There is a point. If you just watch, you'll see it. Are you the game master? Not at all. Then who is it? Could it be Claire? If you watch, you'll see. Not much longer now. The tragedy has already reached its climax. Who'll survive? Who'll survive, I wonder? Oh, I missed her so much. Berncastle isn't the game master? Then who is? Could Claire have created this cruel tale? I think it's maybe Battler. No, I don't think... Would Battler do this? Genji? Kinzo? I don't fucking... Not Kinzo. Or are there even more witches playing around with this cat box? Ow, ow. The guest house was wrapped in silence. There were no sounds, no trace of anyone's presence, no breathing from anyone alive. There wasn't anything to be heard anymore. If anything could be heard, it was the sound of the murderer's feet stepping across the floor. Okay. Your favorite scene? Ooh. Kyrie slowly passed through the lounge. In her right hand was a gun. In her left hand was a knife. The knife was stained with blood, and some was still dripping from the tip, leaving behind red tracks like a demon's footprints. Her hands were filled with tools of murder, so she wasn't capable of doing anything but murder. In that sense, at that moment, she was clearly and purely a murderer. The murderer went to the entrance hall, and then, only after reaching the front door, looked down to see the two blood-stained hands of a killer. Those hands gripped the tools of death that had performed a cruel massacre. Then, at last, the murderer realized that it wouldn't even be possible to open a door like this, and tossed aside the knife. Then the murderer reached out to the door, turned around calmly, and spoke.
ごめんね、みんな。でも安心してね。数日後、新聞は不幸な事故を掲載するわ。そしてあなたたちは、事故の瞬間まで何も知らずに楽しく過ごしていたに違いないと、新聞もニュースも噂する人々も言うでしょうね。それはつまり、あなたたちは10月5日の24時まで楽しく過ごしていたということ。
So said the one who had stained that bloody guest house red.
この時間には、いとこ同士で楽しくはしゃいで夜更かしをしている。そして朝が早い使用人の人は高いびき。遅番の人は日誌でも書いて、あるいはほっと一息を入れてる頃でしょうね。そういうことなの。
Oh, this is chilling.
ここでこうしていると、いとこ部屋での大はしゃぎが聞こえてくるようだわ。
Humans outside the cat box would never understand what Kyrie was saying. Only she, shut inside the cat box of the explosion accident, could know what it really meant. Outside, the rain poured down heavily. Kyrie almost picked up an umbrella, but then stopped suddenly, as if she'd just thought of something. Then she started walking out into the rain, not caring at all whether she got wet or not. Did the murderer not want an umbrella to get in the way of her gun? Or was she hoping that the rain could act as a shower to get the blood off her? Kyrie stopped walking, as though something unexpected had caught her attention. However, this time, it was no whim of hers.
うちの人よくも殺したわね。あら、エヴァ姉さん、ショックだわ。あの距離で外してたなんて。私も驚いてる。まさか自分が生きてたなんてね。
What if this is what really happened? And that's why fucking Ava hates Angie? It's because she has to raise the daughter that she knows killed her fucking... And that's why and then Angie becomes a successor? Ugh. Ava's the fucking game master here.
礼拝堂裏の地下階段から戻ってきたの。
I think Ava is the game master.
ならええ、礼拝堂の前でルドルフにも会ったわ。元気そうだった？ええ、兄弟で久しぶりに仲良く語り合った。そう。目立ちたがり屋なのもここ一番で頼りない人。
I don't know.
やっぱりあの人は私がいないとダメなのね。
Jesus fucking Christ. After that short exchange of words, Kyrie already knew that Rudolph had been killed. However, no trace of urgency or panic rose to her face. She just closed her eyes with her usual, unconcerned expression. And when she opened them again, she had regained her composed smile.
ありがと
Thank you.
う。感謝する。
Oh, wait. I forget, I'm not reading.
これで本当に私が全てを独り占め？その服の血は何？あんたゲストハウスから出てきたわね。
Jesus.
ええ、そうよ。今私殺人事件の真っ最中なの。殺したの？みんな。
Just shoot her!
マリアちゃんまで？生かして朝を迎える理由がないわ。朝になれば騒ぎになって面倒になる。無線で島の外に連絡したり助けを求めたりするかもしれない。
There is no love here.
だからこれが極めてベストなの。チェス盤をひっくり返して考える。
Fuck your chessboard.
人でなし。
Oh my god.
金に目がくらんで人の命を奪うなんて。
Ava, voice act more, please.
あなただってうまいことやったわ。あれは事故よ。
She's great.
殺すつもりなんてなかった。
Ava Beatrice was so good, too, back in episode 3. Like, that's when I listened to, like, probably the most of the voice acting. God, this game is so fucking fun.
あんたとは違うの。違わない。もし銃の暴発が起こらなければあなたたちはいつまでも口論と組合を続けて。そうすればあなたたちも数手遅れで私と同じ答えに行き着いたはず。
Jesus Christ.
私は殺人鬼じゃないわ。
Yes, you are.
いいえ、なり損ねただけの立派な殺人鬼よ。エヴァ姉さんは暴発に救われただけ。あの幸運がなければ、そして私があなたより先に実行に移さなければ、あなたが私の役をやっている。それだけはあなたがいくら否定しようとも変わらない異なる未来の真実。
Exactly.
わけのわからないこと言わないで。
Ava is very much someone who's capable of. I mean, she does have Beatrice. She has a Beatrice identity. However, on the inside, Ava understood. Back then, she had probably been saved by that accidental discharge by a coincidence. If the argument had continued much longer, she would have surely have grown a desire to kill Kraus and the others, and might have even carried it out. She simply could not deny the existence of that demon deep within her heart. Only the theater-goers knew. They knew that she could become a killer in another world. Kairi, who didn't have the theater-going ability, knew this fact as well. Maybe there really was something extraordinary about her after all. What? So, for some time, Ava could only grind her teeth in silence, still pointing her gun.
私にはわからないわ。あなたも自分のお腹を痛めて子を産んだ経験を持つ母のはず。
A little quiet, I need to turn it up.
このバカが命の尊さを知らないわけがない。そのあなたがどうしてこれだけのことができるの？子供なんて勝手にできるの？
Why didn't they just split the money?
そういう話じゃないでしょ。
These people are all fucking idiots. It's 20 billion yen.
って言うわよね。それが何？子は夫をつなぎ止めておくためのかすがいなのよ。ルドルフさんに私のことを認めさせ、あの女から彼を取り戻すためのかすがいだった。
Jesus Christ.
でもルドルフさんはあなたが殺したわ。だったらわかるでしょ。わかるってどういう意味？私はもう誰かの妻でもないし母のつもりもないということよ。私は私。
Jesus.
キリエ。
Kirie.
ルドルフさんが死んだ今、後ろ宮でさえないわ。
This is so freaking malicious.
私は私の得になるように生きる。そうね。ルドルフは死んで、あんたは妻ではなくなったかもしれない。で、エンジェちゃんがいるでしょ。あんたはまだ母であり続けるはずよ。言ったでしょ、かすがいって。
Oh my... I'm so fucking flabbergasted by all
ル
of
ドルフ
this.
さんがいなくなった今、エンジェは
Angie is of no use to me. Oh my god. No wonder why her and Kasumi were siblings. These fuckers are evil. We need to extinguish the Sumadera line. It is the right thing to do.
それが母親が子に対して言うことなの？
She's so good.
ネバ姉さん、やめましょうよ。 綺麗事は綺麗事
I guess.
私たちって子供が欲しくて結婚したの？違うでしょ。好きな男と一緒に暮らしたいから結婚したんでしょ。そして結婚したんならその男を一生手放したくないと思うでしょ。子供はそのための武器じゃない。
Oh my god.
そんなこと考えて子供作ったりなんかしないわよ。
Just shoot her.
そんなこと考えて子供を作ることもできるのよ。
Kyrie kept on speaking emotionlessly, ignoring the falling rain. Her relaxed smile didn't falter for an instant.
エンジェなんてルドルフさんを縛り付けるためのただの鎖。
Can we just say for a second that Angie is watching this? This is so fucked up. She's watching this.
あるいは家族ごっこをするための子供の役という名の駒。
This is the worst possible game.
私にとってエンジェはルドルフさんの前で良き母を演じるときに必要な駒なだけよ。
I just want to like reach my hands through the screen and fucking choke the life out of Kyrie right now. Fucking.
あんた
Oh my god.
それをエンジェちゃんの前で言える？
Could you say that to Angie Chan's face?
さすがに気の毒だから本人には言わないわ。悪いお母さんを許してねとでも書いて姿をくらますつもり。ローザさんとマリアちゃんを見ればわかるでしょ。ルドルフさんがいない今、エンジェなんて私を縛る鎖なだけ。
I'm so fucking
私
miffed.
は元のたった一人の切り絵に戻り、のんびりと余生を楽しむつもりよ。新しい挑戦、新しい人生。
She's just like made an instant pivot. She's like, yeah, Rudolph's dead. Who needs Angie anymore?
ひょっとしたら新しい恋もあるかもね。
Oh my god, her voice acting is just giving me the freaking heebie-jeebies.
それでも人間なの。
Come on, Ava.
それでも
Come on, Ava.
エンジェちゃんの母なの。
I'm willing to forgive killing Natsui if it means you just kill Kyrie too.
エンジェなんかしたことじゃないわよ。あんなクソガキ、可愛いと思ったことなんて一度だってないわよ。
あんたって人は
Come on, Ange. Come on, Ava.
あなただってもう家族ごっこから解放されたでしょ。謳歌しましょうよ、女の自由を。感謝してほしいわ。ジョージ君も殺してあげたんだ。
人でなしが
Yes. This is some witch Kyrie shit. The two yells and the sound of gunfire thundered across the dark rose garden. Slowly, Ava fell backwards. Then she landed in a puddle, scattering countless drops of water. Across from her, Kyrie spun around as though dancing. Beautiful, black rose petals scattered around her. The petals were a dark, dark red. As they sprayed from her throat, she spun around in a circle and slowly crumpled. They killed each other, didn't they? Then she fell to the ground, setting muddy water flying. The two women had shot and fallen. However, when the thunder roared, only Ava sat back up. Yes! Let's fucking go! Woo! Ava hadn't been shot. Kyrie's intensity had made her fall backwards, but the bullet had once again slipped right past her. Ava cursed her good luck. Why couldn't this luck have saved her husband or her son?
エンジェちゃんのためそこで死になさい
Yeah, rest in piss, Kyrie. Eat shit and die.
あんたは
Yeah,
爆発事故で死ぬ
what we've learned about Kyrie from this whole thing is, wow, Kyrie can't shoot for shit. She can't hit the broadside of a fucking barn.
死ぬ直前の瞬間まで置いてきた娘のことを心配していたそう刻む
Those are the battler incompetence genes.
猫箱の蓋の上にね
When Kyrie heard this, blood dripped from her grinning mouth, and she seemed to say something in response. However, her voice came out only as globs of blood from the hole in her throat, not words. Yeah, are they picking the shit gun or the cool gun?
お母さん
I don't know, Angie. This seems like this would be really tough to cope with.
お母さんこんなの嘘よ
Yeah, it's a lie. I don't want to believe all this. This is all just pranking me. And it's all going to just be like a really cool and happy ending in episode 8. Where everybody's revived and like... Battler and Shannon like kiss and like... I don't know. Yeah. Cheeser 00, the one we never seen.
Angel, どうか落ち着いてこれはゲームです
It's just a game,
あなたの
bro.
お母さんの本心のわけがないこんなのゲームマスターはキリエおばさんの駒に言わせてるだけに過ぎません
But saying that did nothing to calm Angie's sobs. I don't blame her. Even if she knows it's just a game, she's been forced to see not only her mother's death, but also her mother announcing that she was the culprit of a mass murder who didn't even love her own daughter. Anyone who would sob after hearing that.
ベルーン・カステルさんもういい加減にしてください
Alright, I think I'm gonna turn off the voice acting, because I think there's a slight chance there might be Lambda here, and I need that.
この子
Then, Castle-san, enough of this! I don't care who the game master is. Stop this pointless game right now. When Leon yelled this, the theater suddenly went pitch black, swallowed in darkness. Okay, just let me know. Thank you, Eric. However, that wasn't enough to shock Leon. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that would be really cool, guys. Thank you. Leon continued to yell Berncastle's name into the darkness, telling the witch to stop this game. Then, a single beam of light shone down upon the stage. There was Claire, the one who had appeared for just a second right before this cruel game began. Claire! So, you were the game master after all. I don't get it. Why? Claire didn't answer. In fact, it looked as though she hadn't even heard. Her eyes were blank, and you couldn't tell what she was looking at. In fact, she wasn't even forgetting to blink. She was even forgetting to blink. She just looked like a doll. Then, another beam of light lit up the side of the stage. Beneath that light stood Berncastle. At the same moment, though there appeared to be no one in the audience, a thunderous applause rang out. Berncastle raised her right hand in response to the applause. She kept doing so until it died down. Berncastle-san! So you were the master of this game after all. Leon, how many times do I have to tell you that I'm not the game master? Then are you saying it's Claire? That's impossible! Yep, of course it's impossible. After all, Claire died. We were just conducting her funeral. Did you forget that? Then who is standing there? A corpse. She's not a mannequin. So, of course, she still has her insides. She's hiding under a beautiful exterior, but she's actually packed full of guts. When Berncastle raised her right hand, a light fell on it, and a black, shining scythe appeared there. Gee, what the fuck? Okay. It was a cold, merciless, and cruel object, like something a classic Grim Reaper might hold. What are you planning to do? When they're alive, you can enjoy watching them struggle. When they're dead, you can enjoy tearing out their guts. Tales are things you get to enjoy twice. That's what it means to be a witch of theater going. Her face, she's just got like the goofiest aspect. Like she's like ing. Berncastle pressed the blade of her Reaper's scythe against Claire's stomach and slowly slid it across. Then, along the line she traced, Claire's dress was sliced open. It was now clear that the scythe she held was not a fake one for theatrical use. Not that I had really ever assumed that at this point, but okay. And it was clear just what she planned to do for the next. And it was clear just what she planned to do next that made her cruel smile so fitting. Angie, can you hear me? I hear you. You tear me to bits. Make me read. What's next? Are you showing me this worst possible tale to hurt me even more? Is this fun for you? Yeah, I'll bet it is. I had a blast too. You think that I'd give up after that? You think I'll sit around crying any longer because of that disgusting game of yours? Both you and Leon seem to have the wrong idea. I'm not the game master. This tale is not one that I created. Then that woman in the dress is the game master? No, she isn't. That Can't be. But who is the Game Master? Who wove this disgusting tale? You still don't understand? What don't we understand? Angie, you gambled everything on a faint chance of a miracle, throwing yourself forward. I invited you to October 4th and 5th of 1986 out of respect for your courage. What was your goal? To take your family back. That would be a very difficult thing without the blessing of a miracle, a thoroughly impossible one. You were prepared for that, weren't you? Yes, I'm prepared. And I still haven't given up on Oni-chan, Mom, and Dad. Whether you give up or not is your choice. That's your own game, after all. I won't support you. I won't even watch. I've already enjoyed my fill of games that use the piece you are, so I have no need for you any longer. Glad to hear it. Then why am I here? Aren't you the one who invited me? Yes, that's right. I invited you here. To thank you for entertaining me for a while was my piece. To thank me? So this is how wishes show gratitude. Sure, this has to be loads of fun, you beast. How could you make this kind of game? And do that to Dad and Mom? Angie, you made a wish, hoping to take your family back. However, you also made another wish. Remember? No, I don't. You wanted to know what happened on that day. What happened on Rokkenjima on October 4th and 5th, 1986. Didn't Angie leave on her journey with Amakusa because she longed to answer that question? This is canon? That's right. So what's your point? You don't mean... Leon realized what Berncastle was getting at. Realized and was unable to say anymore. The Game Master is neither Berncastle nor Claire. Then who is it? That's the wrong question. There is no Game Master. That could only mean one thing. Angie, you still don't understand? What? This is the truth. The insides of the cap box on October 4th and 5th, 1986. Afterwards, Ava survived the explosion by escaping to Kuadorian. And since she never spoke of the inside of the cap box, no matter how much you wanted to know, that truth was shut within the cap box for all eternity. This is so fucked up. What are you saying? Only Ava returned alive. Even though the police claimed it was an accident, the public didn't believe it. Then, she took over her husband's company, and the harder she worked to make it more and more successful, the more enemies she made. The public image of her as a great queen of conspiracy grew stronger and stronger. I'm sure she wanted to tell people about the truth. That truth that no one would ever believe without proof. Bit by bit, Ava's heart began to snap. You rejected Ava, so she rejected you in turn. The relationship between the last two members of your family was strained to the limit. Each time she compared you with her beloved son, she grew more and more twisted and broken. Then, a strange message bottle was picked up and became a topic of conversation. It contained a bizarre story, one that told of a mysterious serial murder connected to Rokkenjima's gold. Everyone rejected the explosion accident theory and started to think up conspiracy theories. Some of those theories named Ava as the culprit, which tormented her even more. However, Ava used that to build up the cap box. And until the moment of her death, she protected it. She protected the lock that held the cap box shut. So no human would ever reach the truth inside the cap box. Not unless those witches who crossed the sea of fragments opened the lock. This is the truth. You're lying. You're lying. If this really is the truth, you should be able to say so in red. There's no way you can. Of course there isn't. Angie, calm down. Angie writhed with such strength that the chains on her arms and legs looked like they might snap. All over her body, a red, gooey liquid started to seep out. It was though cracks had opened up all over her, and blood was leaking out of all of them. Oh my fucking god, she's turning back to meat cubes. What's that? You want me to announce it clearly with the red truth? Angie Burger. And I'll say it just for you. This is all the truth. No! Oh! Is this actually what fucking happened? Wait, did I miss half of that red truth? Hold up, let me look at the archive. Oh, okay. Got it, no archive. Angie's yell covered up Burns' red truth. Oh, yeah. I just needed to click. I'm fucking absolutely, like, tweaking right now. Stupid kid. If only you hadn't made me say that. You could have shut it up inside the cap box. But you had to ask, right? I knew you would, of course. And so I wanted to see you scream like that. A lovely expression like that should keep me laughing for about 100 years. Come on, baby, you're kind of telling a lot. I am bad at knowing these things, because I don't know what happens. Jesus Christ. Go back to being scrap meat. I want fucking more Lambda to help me cope with this, how fucked up and sad this is. Mom, Dad, it's alive, right? Lies. Grr. Angie. As Angie held her head and screamed, the blood dripping from her finally grew so thick that it started scattering all over the place. What the fuck? Then bit by bit, her body began to melt. No, to fall apart. Then bits of her began to pile up on the chair until she was nothing but a pile of guts and scraps. Ew. Will you please stop turning Angie into a fucking hamburger? She's like... Is the truth really that sacred? How absurd. How foolish. Why can't humans control their own truth? They stupidly search for the truth, like that's all that matters. When they finally find it and can't stand it, they turn themselves into scrap meat. Hey, are you watching, Claire? You wanted to hide the truth too, didn't you? For fun, you wrote several Catbox tales and planned to seal them in the message bottles like the end of a mystery novel you loved. Then you threw them into the sea. Holy fuck. at the big reveal. To save those who would suffer if they knew this truth. You sealed everything in a cat box, and Ava provided the lock. And I've sliced that box open for you. This is such a Furudo Erika thing to do. This is like revenge for Furudo Erika. All that effort you spent to hide it has gone to waste. I've exposed all the truth you hid and wish you hid with your death. Is that what you've been after? You did all this just to mock Claire's death. And then you showed it to Angie to make her suffer. You really were an evil witch after all. I've been a witch the whole time. A traveler whose only goal is to escape boredom. Care for it and love it while it's still alive, then eat the guts when it's dead. That's how witches live. Fuck you, Byrne. I cannot forgive you for what you've done. You've hurt Angie and humiliated Claire, the person I would have become in another world. I won't forgive you. Leon, you're still Claire's hope, even after her death. From the moment Claire got thrown off that cliff, her fate was already sealed. I'm sure she felt a little bit of salvation, to know that another her lives in happiness in another world. That's right. I'm her salvation, so I must live life to the fullest for the both of us. Leon, let me show you just a bit more of the tale of the truth. I'm not interested. No, it'll be very interesting. After the duel between Ava and Kyrie, the guest house is wrapped in silence. Let me invite you to the parlor at that point in time. The parlor? The one in the mansion. Berncastle snapped her fingers, and the scene of the mansion's parlor unfolded before them. In the cruel tale that they had just been shown, the parlor hadn't been particularly important. Jessica had been summoned to the parlor, but she was then immediately led to the dining hall and killed there. So there hadn't been anything to see in the parlor. And, in fact, there was nothing to see in the parlor now appearing before Leon. Just what's supposed to be here? As you can see, there's nothing here. But watch. I'm about to show you something interesting. If you call it interesting, it's a sure sign that it isn't. Go on, take a look. It's right there. Right in that corner. Berncastle was pointing, and nothing more than a corner of the room. There was nothing there. She had told Leon to look there, so the latter was expecting something terrible to be there. But there was really nothing there at all. That's right. There is nothing there. At least, not in this world. But what if we peek into the next fragment over? Are we looking at episode 8? On the white blank wall, bit by bit, a splash of blood seeped into view. Then, right there, a corpse appeared. But that couldn't be. This is... me? It was Leon, lying dead against the wall. Ushira Mia Leon's corpse lay there exposed. What's going on here? Why am I here? This is supposed to be Claire's world, not mine. Claire and I can't exist at the same time, right? Yes, that's right. That's because I just switched worlds, switched fragments. Switched to your world, that is. I don't understand. It's very simple. They both end the same way. I don't get it. Why should I be dead here? In your world, on October 4th, 1986, Beatrice's funeral was held just before the family conference. Yes, I know that. And for me, that happened today, a short while ago. I wonder what will happen between that time and late that night. Nothing at all. The cousins will all play together, and the whole family will have dinner together. Then comes the family conference after night falls. You were going to succeed the headship when you turned 20, right? Was the entire family satisfied with that, I wonder? I don't know if they were satisfied, but the decision had been made. The head made it himself. Looks like you don't even really believe they were satisfied. Looks like you don't even believe they were really satisfied. Looks like even you don't really believe they were satisfied. That's it, right there. Kinzo adored you more than anything, so he tried to make an exception and have you succeed the headship directly. Of course, his children wouldn't have been happy with that. The siblings objected to having Leon succeed the headship. Even Kraus joined in, saying that Leon was still too young. Then, on the night of the family conference, Kinzo tried proposing a difficult riddle. Could it be? That's right, the riddle of the epitaph. As you can tell by the mechanism set up into the chapel, Kinzo thought up the epitaph trick near the beginning, when the mansion on Rokkenjima was being built. He had the romantic idea of someday using it as a test to select his successor. Kinzo decided to present that riddle at the family conference. Did he plan to give it to the position of successor to the person who solved it? Or did he promise to reconsider Leon's position as the successor if it was solved? Either way, Kinzo was confident. He was confident that no one would be able to solve this tough riddle, which he had created himself. After all, after that, everything happened exactly like the truth you saw. The siblings solved it right away, and there was a quarrel over the pile of gold. Then, Kyrie and Rudolph decided to prevent any chance of the crime being discovered the next morning and an outcry being raised by committing murder late that night. They used the phone to call the kids out from the cousin room one by one and killed them. As the first of the cousins, you were the first to be called out. Then, Kyrie shot you dead, right here in the parlor. No, that's not quite right. You're the Ushiramiya Leon from the early evening of October 4th, 1986. So, I'll say it this way. Tonight, Kyrie will shoot you dead in the parlor. That's insane. That's right. Probability. Just like Leon can be born from Claire thanks to a rare miracle, Aunt Kyrie commits murder with a tiny probability, close to zero. That must be it. Aren't you the witch who specializes in finding extremely improbable worlds? That is correct. I had to find one fragment out of 2,578,917 in order to discover the miracle that is you. However, it was very, very easy to find this result for your world. After all, probability isn't a factor. I'm a witch who can find any miracle, no matter how unlikely it is. But I can't find things that don't exist. If the Witch of Certainty really guarantees that something is certain, even I can't win against her. But then I'm... With a 2,578,916 out of 2,578,917 probability, you live in the world where you're Claire, get toyed with by an inescapable fate, and reach a tragic end. And with a 1 out of 2,578,917 probability, you live as Ushiramiya Leon, and are killed by Kairi tonight. In other words, your fate, the fate the two of you share, traps you in an inescapable dead end, a hell of fate with a 2,578,917 out of 2,578,917 probability. To put it another way, it's a certain fate with absolutely no chance for a miracle. Sucks for you, Claire. Or should I say, Beatrice. Just when a bright light seemed to turn the world white, the scene suddenly changed back into the theater. On the stage, Berncastle's Reaper scythe slid across Claire's stomach as the latter stood absolutely still. Got it. Let's get freaked the fuck out some more. A red line was drawn across the white skin, exposed now that the dress had been cut and black blood began to seep out. How melancholic of you.
閉ざされた逃げ得ぬ絶対の2日間に閉じ込められたあなたはその2日間の猫箱の中で無限を生み出せる魔女となったわ。絶対に救われない報われないことと引き換えにね。しかしあなたは夢を見たわ。それが後ろ宮リオンという夢。自分がクレルとならずに済み幸せに暮らせていたかもしれない奇跡の世界を夢見て自らを慰めていた。リオンを見つけるのは本当に苦労したわよ。
But Leon existed.
その存在はベアトが夢見た通り本当に奇跡だったんだから。そして葬儀の最後に見せつけてやりたかったのよ。その奇跡をもってしてもあんたは惨劇を逃れられやしないってね。
Fuck you, Burn. Through the small crack between the bars of the jail that imprisoned her, the witch called Beatrice dreamed of a world where she might have been happy. However, the space she could see through that crack in the bars was just another part of the same jail.
私にはあなたという人がますますにわからない。あなたはなぜこんなことをするのですか。ベアトにゲームで負けたから腹いせで。ああ、これで少しは負けたムカつきも晴れてきたわ。
This is so fucked up.
ねえベアト、見てる？見えてる？そして覚えてる？あなたには絶対に奇跡は起きないって私約束したわよね。さあリオン、ベアトの目の前であなたを元の世界へ戻してあげる。感激の魔女たちはだるい一家団らんのシーンはもう縮小気味だそうよ。
No, I want more happy family. I want a good ending. I want to be
だから
happy.
あなたがキリエに撃たれる直前の瞬間へ送ってあげる。そしてその瞬間をベアトに見せつけてあげる。
This is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. God, I hope they cast Burn Castle to the fires of Labubu Hell forever.
死ねやゲロカスリオン。ゲロカスベアトの最後の希望。
The worst is about to happen. The best is yet to come. Berncastle raised her Reaper scythe. swung it down with gusto, and plunged it deep into Claire's stomach. This has been like Burns' long game. Is just infiltrate this shit for stupid revenge. There's no love here, Burncastle. Chill the fuck out. Take a breath, Mint. Have a Marlboro Red.
死骸を腹渡引きずり出して恥ずかしめるのが私の一番得意なことだってのに。
There is no love here. She took the blade end of the scythe and heartlessly, ruthlessly, brutally raised it up into the air. Along a vertical line from Claire's stomach to her chest. The blade cut deeply, slicing Claire open. Jesus fucking Christ. The red-black insides jutted out, then burst like a dam breaking, covering the world with dark red entrails. Dude, I haven't seen the teeth in forever.
イタリア人の黄金を奪うだと卑怯者め後ろ宮貴様それでも軍人か
What?
お父様、
Oh my fucking god.
私はお父様の
Oh
ことを
my
敬愛いた
fucking
しております。
god.
でもそのお父様
Oh my fucking god.
どうしてあなたたちは私を助けたんですか？どうして死なせてくれなかったんですか？私はあの時の大怪我でこんな体で生きさせられている。こんな体で生きていたくなんかなかった。こんな恋をすることもできない体で。
What?
そんなの
Who is this?
そんなの生きる価値がないんじゃないですか？そんなの人間じゃない。核じゃないですか。
Yasu? Okay. Okay.
そう私は核。核なんだ。どうして私はあの時に死なせてくれなかったんですか？
Oh, I'm really fucking sad. When I came to, I was in the parlor of the mansion. When did I get here? I hear a sound behind me, and slowly turned around. And there,
ごめんね。悪く思わないでね。
I could see down the frigid barrel of the gun Aunt Kyrie was pointing. Then, she slowly pulled the trigger. I could feel a razor-sharp wind pass through my body, like a knife slicing through butter. Prepared for death, and hoping to see my fate until the end, I slowly opened my eyes. Please miss again. She'll miss again, right? The world had been cut in two. Kyrie was frozen in place like a statue, still pointing her gun with a cold smile on her face, and had been cut in half at an angle, the top part of her slowly sliding off to the side. No, that wasn't quite right. That wasn't right at all. It wasn't just Kyrie. The whole world had been sliced in half at an angle and was slowly sliding off to one side. Then, immediately after fissures seemed to appear across the world, it shattered. Willard! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Save me! Fuck yes! Fuck yes!
あなたは
猫を飼ってると飼い主も似るもんさ。
I'm so fucking happy. He pointed at Burncastle with the tip of the pitch black sword that had sliced the world, glaring at her.
なに戻ってきたのは気まぐれだって言いたいの？
お前がいい話で終わらせるわけがねえ。
Okay. What a scene. This game is so fucking good. This game is so much fucking balls. Honestly, I have never seen something in Japanese media, I say this all the time, take the risks that this fucking game does. This game literally, like, slaughters your emotions. There was no way you'd end things on a happy note. Do you really hate Beatrice so much? You think I'd let her win and get away? I have to pay her back in full for the humiliation she caused me. When I hold a grudge, a mere century isn't long enough for me to forget it. You're a gloomy person. Come on, you mustn't neglect my heart. Exactly, Eric. And that's what makes Umineko such a fundamentally fucking awesome experience. Oops, I just clicked off. Are you okay, Leon? Hey, what's wrong? Leon had suddenly doubled over, groaning. My chest hurts. It's... Will roughly grabbed the hand that was pressed against Leon's chest and tore it away. Blood was seeping out from where Leon's hand had been. It was the place that the bullet would have entered if Kyrie had shot Leon. Looks like Leon's body is almost ready to accept its fate. Leon, hang in there. Damn these chains. When Will tried to pick Leon's body up, he finally noticed the chains attached to each wrist and ankle. What's this? Are you trying to take that kid and escape? I won't let you. I'm about to let everyone watch as Leon coughs up blood, despairing at the fact that there's no hope in any of the many worlds, before finally dying in agony. Leon isn't a show. Will swung his pitch-black sword and destroyed the chains binding Leon. The chains and shackles shattered into little bits like glass, then vanished. You intend to get in the way of my fun. You aren't God. All you can do is sneer at fate. Leon's fate is gonna be decided by Leon. You can't treat a human's fate like a toy. No, can I? You've got guts, saying that to the great Burn Castle, Witch of the Senate. I have no more use for you either, get it? You've shown that Beato's fantasy is a mystery and cut it to pieces. You fulfilled your role. I would have let you be if only you just left quietly. Now that you've strolled back in here, you can hardly complain if I make you my plaything. Come to me, my cute kitties. Scratch them up and tear off their skin. Peel them like grapes. Did you know they did surgery on a grape, Will? Fucking stupid-ass warrior cat shit, get the fuck out of here. When Burncastle clapped her hands twice, countless pairs of glaring jewels appeared around Will and Leon. They were clearly cat eyes, but the way the drool hung from their mouths looked far more terrifying than any cat. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth! Will, I'll handle this. Trimming kitty nails is nothing new to me. This is so Battler-coded. The number of jewels surrounding him already reached into the thousands. Will pointed his sword in one direction after another, warding off the surrounding cats. Get a grip, Leon. You haven't been shot. Don't acknowledge that you have been. No, that you're going to be shot. Leon tried to fight an incredible, tearing pain. No, it was a fight against the promised future that Burncastle had shown. However, the stake of that future, which the Witch of Miracles had guaranteed would contain no miracle, was firm and merciless. Bit by bit, and yet unceasingly, it continued to pierce into Leon's chest. Listen up! I'm going to break through their perimeter for just a second. When I do, you need to run with all you've got. It doesn't matter where. Just make sure you get far away from this place, and keep on running no matter what happens. I'll come for you, riding on a white horse. Come on, I'll try. To the best of my ability. If I can't do it, please forgive me. If you can't do it, enough whining. I won't forgive you. Neither will Claire. Did you forget that you're Claire's 1 in 2,578,917 chance? If you give up, you're betraying all the other yous in countless worlds. So don't lose heart. Keep on struggling and struggling. Don't look for a miracle. Be one. Be a miracle. You're going to reach a happy future. Don't give up. Don't complain. Just you try complaining again. This time I'll pinch your ass. Okay. How very confident you are telling this kid to be a miracle when you stand before the Witch of Miracles. Miracles are nothing more than fantasy. Grovel in this world that has been convicted as a mystery and die horribly like a worm. The witches of theater going are looking forward to watching it. You call that mystery? You think I'd ever accept a mystery without heart? Let the cat who wants to be made into a shamisen strike first, the musical instrument. Pain. Let's have you all at once. I'm Willard H. Wright, SSVD's head inquisitor of heresy. This will be the final time I draw my sword. Why is everything fucking perfect right now? Trash it, kiddies. At once, all of the cat eyes opened wide, undulating and spinning in a spiral, then swallowed Will up. But Will and Leon weren't swallowed up. The cats that had flown in at them from all directions were now being launched away, like they were a balloon popping around the pair. Ice cream's so good. Okay. Oh, not bad. I don't give a damn about your kitties. It's just the mama cat here I care about. Burncastle, Witch of Miracles. It's about time someone trimmed your claws. Another flash of the black blade spun in a dark tornado and scattered the cats once more. Leon, realizing that this was the opening Willard had planned, ran all out, still clutching at a heaving chest. Will, I'm running. Diana has a weak stomach. Make sure you only give her milk that's warm. Huh? By the time Leon asked Will to repeat what he had said, he had already leapt onto the stage and was now confronting Burncastle. It was like the climax of a show. No shit! Loud cheers erupted from a pitch-black audience seating. On either side of Claire, who lay with their insides exposed, stood Will with his pitch-black sword and Burncastle with a scythe that could harvest miracles from fate. Kyrie and Rudolph are the culprits, and they massacred the people on the island. They called Leon out to the parlor, then shot Leon to death. Sorry, but I can't acknowledge this truth of yours as a mystery. This is all fantasy. Why don't they give her like a scythe on her sprite though? Fantasy? You're calling it that to try and let Leon escape fate. By all means, try. Rule 1. It is forbidden to have a crime without all clues presented. Surely Will's black sword must have cut through Burncastle's body. However, it had no effect, like cutting the reflection of the moon on the water. What's this? What do you mean by clues? I won't accept your mystery with Kyrie and Rudolph as the culprits. You won't find clues showing that they're the culprits no matter which game you look at. Of course you won't. Even if they did exist at one point, the whole island blew up. Which means there aren't any clues. And that means this is no mystery. It's fantasy. Huh? It's impossible for an unprovable truth to become truth in the human world. In other words, even the actual truth cannot cross the boundary of a cat box. Are you trying to shut the truth inside the cat box? Is this how the mystery genre is supposed to fight? With a laugh, like the howl of a wild animal, Burncastle carelessly tossed her scythe aside. Fighting itself is a waste of time. Get over here, scum. Try and cut me all you like. I'll listen to all you've got to say. The 20 wedges will pierce every part of your heartless mystery. Here it comes. And when you realize that you can't defeat me with those 20 wedges, you know what'll happen next, right? Come on. I'll play with you. That's what you want. Then he does like a... He does like the Palpatine, like, episode 3, like, jump. That's it? That's it? What the fuck? Holy shit. No wonder why everybody loves this fucking episode. We still have the Witch's Tea Party, too. What's gonna happen in the Witch's Tea Party? Is it gonna be a continuation of this, or are we gonna... No, I doubt it, right? Willard H. Wright. Berncastle. Fuck you, Bern. I hate you. 7th game. Requiem of the Golden Witch. Umineko no naku koro ni chiru. Nocturne of Truth and Illusions. Trying to ignore an incredible pain in the chest, Leon kept on running and running without stopping. I dashed out of the theater-going witches, then ran through an incomprehensible world of blackness. Before I knew it, I was running through a place that looked like a sea of stars. Or maybe the bottom of the ocean, with stars scattered around. If I get careless for a second, I'll probably trip. No, if I get careless, I won't be able to tell if I'm running. Or just making running motions as I freefall, endlessly sinking deeper into the ocean of stars. I just kept on running, without any goal or target. I mustn't stop moving. I mustn't fall down here. If I fall, I'll crush the hope of the me's in countless worlds. There's a happy world that the Beatrices dreamed of. I'm their last hope, the only one who can reach that world. Even though I understand this, the truth thrust in front of me by the witch who controls miracles, who says there can be no miracle, is cruelly gouging itself into my chest. Sorry, Will. My body's already... My fingers feel like wood. Then Leon finally succumbed to the fierce pain and fate. Over and fell over. Yes! God, I ship these two so fucking hard. Leon's body was held roughly from behind and lifted up. Will, you're okay. No, not really. Don't give up. Didn't I tell you I'd pinch your ass? Sorry. I'm really sorry. But on that day, in that place, I was fated to be killed. That's right. All humans are fated to die in the end. Does that mean their lives are meaningless? Of course not. What a person's life means, what it's worth, what it is. These are things each person decides for themselves, no matter what sort of fate is forced upon them. Don't accept it. Create your own world for yourself. Will, your left arm. It's gone. Right, must have forgotten it. It'll be a pain to go back and get it now. There were rips all over Will's body. Also, his left arm had been brutally torn off from the elbow. His clothes were in tatters, and he looked like a blood-stained scarecrow. Then, Leon noticed. This place had once felt like a sea filled with stars, both above and below them. Those stars now gathered together and were surrounding them. It was a huge, even number of stars, all glaring at the two of them. Will was holding Leon with one arm. He couldn't take his sword out. However, he didn't let go. He was determined to let Leon escape from here, to lead Leon towards the happy tale that Beatrices had dreamed of. Remember when this was just about, like, a family reunion and, like... That was it. Yeah, remember when Battler was, like, just having motion sickness, or, like... I don't know, there was some weird joke about touching Shannon's boobs or whatever. Yeah, remember when that's what Umineko was about? I really had no fucking clue what I was getting into. I really fucking didn't. When I started this, I had no clue how long this game was. I'm just in it now. Behind the cats whose eyes glowed out of the empty darkness, the queen of cats who permitted no miracles appeared. Get the fuck out of here, Willard. Put Leon down. If you do, I'll let you go. Go file a protest with the Great Court. You can put it up for debate. Will, I won't leave you behind. I need to tell you why I quit SSVD. Come to think of it, even I don't know that. Why'd you do it? It's because I got fed up with all those damn sob story mysteries. We'll survive and reach a happy ending. I'll show her. Beatrice died in despair, thinking that there were only bad endings. I'll show her that a happy ending can exist. That's why I'll never put you down. Will, you can take the rest of my left arm, cats. I'll give you my legs too if you want them. But I'm not letting go of Leon here. I'll take Leon away from the bad ending you represent, even if I have to crawl my way out of here. She looks very, like... This dress looks fucking ginormous on her. Are you okay with this, Leon? Will's planning to die protecting you. You don't want that, right? Go ahead and tell him to leave you be and save himself. Will, as we said, this is my a la carte ship of Battler Beatrice, Battler Shannon. Like, this is all like just free meals for me. I'm eating. Yeah. Please, don't leave me here. I'll certainly survive. And so will you. That's the spirit. And as he said this, Will held Leon tight. There you have it. We'll keep struggling on, Burn Castle. We won't give up on the chance of a miracle. You're saying that when the Witch of Miracles has promised with certainty that there will be no miracles. I've never seen X-Files. Man, Burn Castle is the true fucking antagonist. So long, you two. Go collect dust in the depths of oblivion, unable to even die. and disappear. Come, my kitties. I won't order you to kill them. Just clean up the 2 pieces whose role has ended. 100 million, a trillion, 10 quadrillion cats all bared their fangs. In the starry sky of cat eyes, countless flesh-colored mouths opened, exposing countless teeth. The world was wrapped in flesh and blood and fangs. Addition of new elements. Question marks have been added. You can find this new feature on the title screen. Oh, thanks. Is it gonna be the cat's eyes? Oh no, it's still a theater. I thought that'd be cool as fuck. Alright, let's keep crying. I wonder how many pages Ryukishi wrote. I wonder what his word count for Umineko is. 2 white pieces were set on the chessboard. 10 pages. All right, Ryukishi, we have a college English assignment for you. Let's make it a 500-word mystery. Okay. The countless black pieces surrounding them now were just packed together, not even placed on the squares. Castle tipped the 2 white pieces over and took them off the board. Is it really okay to end it like this? Yes. No! Fuck you, Aurora! Yes, as usual, your reading truly does fall comfortably on my ears, my Miko. As you wished, I've scraped out even the inner parts of the guts. Was that enough to answer of an answer check for you? Indeed, I am quite satisfied. Using the answer you have revealed as a key, I will go back through all the tales so far, opening the closed rooms like treasure boxes one by one. It's fun finding the key, and it's even more fun to stick it into all the locks. You have done very well, my Miko. From now on, let me enjoy my thoughts alone. This has been enough. The Witch of Theater Going sat back in her rocking chair, a satisfied smile on her face, as though enjoying a pleasant aftertaste. There was no need for a game board anymore. She just had to go back in her mind through the whole set of tales to check whether her theory was right or not. It seemed to leave her pleasantly drunk, even better than the most expensive wine. Are you done with me now? You have done well, my Miko. I absolve you of your duty. I will return to my slumber. I'd like to enjoy this pleasant dream for a few more centuries. And when I grow tired of that, you will find yet another tale to keep me entertained. For those centuries which will pass in the blink of an eye, I grant you your freedom. Fuck your freedom. Splendidly done, Castle, my cute, cute Miko. It's not like I care. Go ahead, dry up and die. So long, for the rest of time. You call a few mere centuries for the rest of time. Featherine's consciousness slowly faded away. As the owner of the study's slumber grew deeper, the lights about the room slowly darkened. Good night forever, Aurora. You don't need this game board anymore. I'll take it. Berncastle reached out towards Beato's game board, which lay on the table in front of Featherine's rocking chair, and tapped it twice. The game board and pieces flew into the air, folded up and put themselves away, then landed on Berncastle's outstretched right hand. I still haven't had a chance to do any real game mastering. I just did Beato's funeral. That and tearing out the guts. I still haven't done anything. Berncastle's smile twisted evilly. Then the game board floated up once again, and a world unfolded itself over Berncastle's palm. Hey, pieces of Beato's game? I'm gonna have you spin an incredibly brutal tale that I'll find incredibly entertaining. Tremble in fear of the certain fate you've been promised. By the name of Berncastle, Witch of Miracles. And as the final game master of Beato's game, I proclaim it. Though just saying it would be boring. Maybe I should follow Beato's rules and say it in red. Are you sure? There might still be some witches with naive hopes. Ah, Lambda, so you're here. Of course you're always wherever I am. Go on and say it. You tell those naive dreamers. Yes, I will. As the Witch of Miracles and as the final game master, I proclaim the start of the final game. And make you this promise. I won't give this game a happy ending. Sob. Sob, sob. A single girl was crying in a desolate, quiet chapel. She was a small girl, only 6 years old. The girl who would, for 12 years starting now, lament the fact that she wasn't on this island during October 4th and 5th, 1986. Then, a single man appeared. The man noticed the girl, walked up to her quietly, trying not to scare her, and put his arms gently around her shoulders. Oni-chan. I've been looking for you, Angie. What the fuck does this mean? The girl jumped into her big brother's chest and started crying again. What's wrong? Why are you so sad? Today a kid in class bullied me. He said the people on TV were saying Mom had ties to bad people. So he said that Mom and Dad were the culprits and that they probably killed everyone. I asked Aunt Ava, hoping she said it wasn't true, but she didn't say anything. Mom and Dad aren't bad people, right? Right? Poor kid. Everyone keeps saying whatever they like about what might have happened on that island on that day. Sit over here. Okay. When the man pointed to the floor, a cloud of gold butterflies gathered there and created a chair. The girl obediently sat down on it. Don't you, Oni-chan? You know that Mom and Dad aren't bad people, right? Yeah, of course I know that. I know that none of them are bad people. And tell me, what happened that day? What happened on Rokkenjima? I feel like I'm Angie, like, crying, like, just trying to figure out this fucking truth, which is, like, been mind-fucking me since August. Okay. I'll tell you. This is what happened on that day. Is it a scary story? Of course not. Is it a sad story? Not at all. And what kind of story is it? You can decide that for yourself when you hear it. It definitely isn't a painful story. So listen up. Okay, Battler Oni-chan. On that day, we all went to Rokkenjima. There were a lot of us. It was an important day. The day of the family conference. Where should I begin? This is the final game, made just for Angie. Listen, Angie. This is what happened on Rokkenjima on that day. It isn't sad or painful at all. Clap. I don't think I have that emote. I don't know how to do any of that shit, but I'll also take clap. Hell yeah. Wow. Isn't it? I literally have been like hyping this game to all my friends. It's like how I've never met another human being in real life who's played Disco Elysium. I'll never meet someone who's played Umineko. But it's even worse. God, I can't wait to play Disco Elysium after this, though. Then I'll actually just be like crying. No, I won't. I would have, if I wasn't streaming this game and I was playing it by myself, I would cry, though. My ass is not crying on a live stream. I think there's need for... I think the translation does need improvement. Like, just with overall, like, writing consistency. Repeated phrases. It's not a perfect game. That's the thing about Umineko. It's not perfect. All right. Wow. Yeah, that was really upsetting to me. Let's look at our tips. Just the SSVD. Who can we execute? Final head of the Ushiramiya family. Spent half his life living lethargically as a human puppet. Because of this, his mental age remains young and does not grow. Thanks to the fascination of the West that he has held since he was a young boy, he is very proficient with the English language. Alright. Yeah, I'll be back on probably Sunday, Monday, Tuesday-ish. Thanks for hanging out, because I'm about to end anyways, so... See ya. I just want to just want to make sure I don't miss anything with these tips first. God, this game is so fucking special. There's nothing like this. You like hear me clicking, trying to execute Burn Castle for fucking wreaking the shit. Oh, that was one of my favorite scenes. That was actually probably my favorite scene in that whole episode, because you could tell because I was having a fuck ton of fun voice acting for it. Because I thought it was so fucking cool. Ah, what a game. The worst part about this game is... Alright. You cannot talk to anyone without spoiling it. I was talking to my friend about Umineko, and I was like, wait, he's like, oh, I know who Beatrice is. I'm like, wait, you do? He's like, yeah, it's the witch. I'm like, oh, my sweet summer child. No. I'm buying him Umineko for his birthday. I don't give a fuck. I'm evil. Alright, well, I don't think I'm missing anything from the tips, so I'm out. I'll see you guys in a couple days. See ya. Good night.